Hello friends, I'm Madhuri Navle. We have started the electric and magnetic circuit, and in part 1 we have seen the electric circuit. Now we are moving towards the second part, that is magnetic circuit. So let's begin with it. What is an electric circuit? It is the closed path followed by the magnetic lines of force, that is flux. See, this is the constructional sketch of the magnetic circuit, and the magnetic circuit can use either the rectangular shape iron core or the toroidal shape iron ring. Now, what is magnet and what are its types? In physics, we have learned magnet is the piece of solid substance which have the property of attracting small pieces of certain materials like iron, steel, etc. Now, there are two basic types of the magnet. One is the natural magnet which we found in the nature. This magnet is weak and shapeless. The another one is the artificial magnet which is man-made, and these magnets are very strong, have the different shapes also like the bar shape, horseshoe shape, magnetic needle, magnetic compass, etc. Now, apart from the natural magnet, it is also called as the magnetite, magnetic iron ore, black iron ore, lodestone, etc. What is an electromagnet? Suppose for particular application, you need to create the magnetic field and the natural magnet or artificial magnet is not available to you. Then how to create the magnetic field? It's very simple. Take one soft iron core and wound one copper wire over it and apply the one battery to this wire. When the current starts flowing through this wire, then this coil or this wire will act as the electromagnet. But when you stop applying the supply or when the current will stop flowing through it, then it will lost its magnetism. Now, some important terms related to the magnetic circuit. First one is the magnetic field. It is the region near the magnet within which the effect of magnet is felt. See, this is the bar magnet, and the flux lines always passes from north pole to the south pole from outer part of the magnet, but within the magnet the flux lines passes from south pole to north pole. The another important term is the magnetomotive force. It is the force responsible for flow of flux or generation of flux in the magnetic circuit. It is similar to the EMF, electromotive force, in the electric circuit. The MMF is represented by the F and is given by the product of I and N. What is I? It is the current through coil in ampere, and N means this number of turns of the coil which is wounded over this magnetic material. Now, unit of the MMF is ampere turns or simply ampere. Next is the magnetic flux. It is the total number of lines of magnetic force in the magnetic field. Means what? See, how many lines of the magnetic flux are there are called as the magnetic flux. The flux is represented by the letter phi and is given by the product of B and A. What is B? It is the magnetic flux density. We will see it in next slide. And A is the area in which the flux lines are passing. The another formula for the flux is it is the ratio of MMF and reluctance. What is reluctance? It will also be see later on. The unit of the flux is Weber. 1 Weber means 10 raised to 8 magnetic lines of force. Next is the magnetic flux density. It is the flux per unit area which is measured in the plane perpendicular to the flux lines. Means what? See, the flux lines are moving vertically and we have found the flux density horizontally. The symbol for the magnetic flux density is B. It is denoted by the letter B and it is given by flux to the area. So its unit is Weber per meter square or another unit is Tesla. Now the flux density is also called as the magnetic induction, intensity, field strength, force, etc. The magnetic field strength, or also called as magnetic field intensity, is the force experienced by unit north pole placed at that point in the magnetic field. Means what? See, if this is the conductor and this is the magnetic field around that conductor, then if at any point we have to find how much force is there, then we are finding the magnetic field strength of that point. Or in another way, magnetic field strength is the magnetomotive force per unit length. It is denoted by the letter H and given by the ratio of product of ampere into turns, means current and turns, divided by the length of magnetic circuit in meter. The unit of magnetic field strength is ampere turns per meter or Newton per meter. The next term is the permeability. It is the ability of magnetic material to carry the flux lines through it. It is similar to the resistivity in electric circuit. There are three types of permeability. First is absolute permeability, which is denoted by the letter mu and given by the ratio of B to H, means magnetic flux density to the magnetic field strength. From this formula, we can rearrange this and we will find the B as mu into H, or mu 0 mu r H. What is the mu 0 and mu r? These are the another two types of permeability. Second type is relative permeability, denoted by letter mu r and given as the ratio of mu to the mu 0. This mu r means relative permeability is 1 for the air or non-magnetic material. The third part or third type of permeability is permeability of free space or air or vacuum, and its value is constant, which is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 Henry per meter. Now the reluctance. Reluctance is the opposition to the flow of flux in magnetic material, which is similar to the resistance in electric circuit. In electric circuit, resistance opposes to the current, and in magnetic circuit, reluctance opposes to the flux. The reluctance is denoted by the letter S and is given as the ratio of mmf upon flux, or another formula is the ratio of L divided by mu 0 mu r A. What is L? L is the length of that magnetic circuit measured in meter, and A means the cross-sectional area of the magnetic circuit measured in meter square. The unit of reluctance is ampere turn per Weber or ampere per Weber, and another unit is Siemens. Now what is the permeance? It is the reciprocal of reluctance. It is also similar to the conductance in electric circuit. The permeance is measured as 1 by S and its unit is Weber per ampere turn or Weber per ampere. The next important parts in magnetic circuit: leakage flux, fringing, useful flux and leakage factor. To understand all the four concepts, consider this circuit. This is the toroidal shaped iron core or iron ring. The wire is wounded over that core. Then when current passes through this wire, the flux will pass through this core or ring. Now what is the leakage flux? It is the flux that does not follow the intended path in the magnetic circuit. Means what? It is ideal that the all flux must pass through this core, but some of the flux passes out of the circuit, means it is the wastage of flux or leakage flux. Next is the fringing. It is the effect of spreading out of flux in the air gap. See, if we introduce some air gap in this magnetic iron ring, then some of the flux is spreading out of that ring. It is called as the fringing. Useful flux. This is the flux that passes through the iron ring as well as through this air gap, and this is utilized in certain applications. Fourth term is the leakage flux factor. It is the ratio of total flux produced by circuit to the useful flux, and it's denoted by the letter lambda. Now, ways to connect the magnetic circuit. Similar to the electric circuit, the magnetic circuits are also of two types: series magnetic circuit and parallel magnetic circuit. In series magnetic circuit, here the three magnetic circuits A, B and C are connected one after another, so that this is the series magnetic circuit. And like series electric circuit, here is only one path for the flux, and equivalent resistance is given by S equals to SA plus SB plus SC. SA, SB and SC are the reluctances of part A, B and C. Parallel magnetic circuit, this is the sketch for parallel magnetic circuit. Here in this circuit there are more than one path for the flux phi. The total flux phi gets split. This is the central limb of this circuit where total flux is flowing or passing through this limb, and at this point this flux gets divided into two parts. One is flowing from left side and one is from right side. So flux phi 1 and phi 2 are the two parts of this main flux. So total flux is phi 1 plus phi 2, and equivalent reluctance is given by 1 upon S equals to 1 upon S1 plus 1 upon S2, means reciprocal of total reluctance is the addition of reciprocals of all the individual reluctances. Now BH curve, which is also called as the magnetization curve. What is this? See, this is the BH curve. It is the graphical representation between magnetic flux density B and magnetic field strength H, where B is plotted on the y-axis and H is plotted on the x-axis. As shown here, this curve is divided into three regions: region OA, region AC and region beyond C. In region OA, this is the non-linear region, means where the B and H increases slowly and non-linearly. The next region is the region AC. This is the linear region, means where the B and H increases linearly or in the same proportion, and if we found the slope here, then it shows the permeability of that magnetic material. Now third region is the region beyond C. This C is called as a knee point, and region beyond this C point is called as a saturation region, where B does not change even after the H is changed and the magnetic core gets saturated here. Hysteresis loop C. This is the magnetization and demagnetization of complete BH curve. Fine. Here in hysteresis loop, two terms are very important. One is the residual magnetism, denoted by BRES, and second is the coercive force, denoted by HC. What is the residual magnetism? See, ideally what happens when current is 0, the B and H both must be 0. But here, when current is 0, the H is 0, but there is some non-zero value of the B at point C, which is called as the residual magnetism. Now we have to wipe out this residual magnetism, or we have to make it 0. Then we require some force. So the value of magnetic field strength H to wipe out this residual magnetism and to make it 0 here at point D, it is called as the coercive force. Now analogy or comparison between electric and magnetic circuit. This is very important point from exam point of view. This is the circuit diagram for electric circuit. Here EMF means one battery is connected to the circuit. Then EMF, the force required to pass the current in circuit through this resistance. This is the connection diagram for magnetic circuit. This is the rectangular shaped iron core. One wire is wounded over that coil. MMF is applied. Current passes through the coil and after that the flux will start flowing through this magnetic core, and this reluctance opposes this flux. The second point is, in electric circuit, current is the flow of electrons through the conductor and its unit is ampere. In magnetic circuit, flux is the total number of magnetic lines of force and its unit is Weber. In electric circuit, electromotive force is the force responsible for flow of current, its unit is volt, and in magnetic circuit, magnetic force is the force responsible for flow of flux, its unit is ampere turns. In electric circuit, resistance opposes to the flow of current, its unit is ohm, and in magnetic circuit, reluctance opposes to the flow of flux, its unit is ampere turns per Weber or Siemens. Next point, for electric circuit, the current is given by the ratio of EMF to the resistance, and for magnetic circuit, flux is given by the ratio of MMF to the reluctance. In electric circuit, the conductance G is reciprocal of resistance. In magnetic circuit, permeance is the reciprocal of reluctance. In electric circuit, the current density del is a ratio of current to the cross-sectional area, and in magnetic circuit, flux density B is the ratio of flux per unit area. In electric circuit, the Kirchhoff's voltage and current laws means KVL and KCL are applicable. In magnetic circuit, Kirchhoff's MMF and flux laws are applicable. Now this is very important point. In electric circuit, energy is required to produce the current as well as to maintain the current. But in magnetic circuit, the energy is required only to produce the current and not required to maintain it in the circuit. In electric circuit, the current cannot pass through the air. Means if we connect the wire in electric circuit, the current will not flow further. But in magnetic circuit, the flux can pass through the air, but the air gap must be minimum. So in part 2 of electric and magnetic circuit, the part 2 was magnetic circuit, and we have seen all these points. I hope you all have understood the concept of magnetic circuit in the part 2. Certainly in upcoming session we will discuss about the electromagnetic induction. Till then, if you have any queries, then please feel free to comment in the chat box. Till then, take care, have a good time.